Good morning everybody, it's 8:35 a.m. and I am on Mount Tamborine, and I've just been to one of my favourite cafes for a coffee, the Spice of Life, which is will be on my right. You can see it through the trees just there, Spice of Life. And I've had a request from one of my subscribers to talk about or show some of my favourite rides on the Gold Coast hinterland. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up into three parts. My favourite rides on the hinterland are across the top of Mount Tamborine, which is where I'm starting from, down the goat track to the Canungra village to the Outpost cafe. That'll be part one. Then part two will be from the Outpost cafe to the Flying Bean cafe at Beachmont. And that'll be part two. And then that's across the top of the Beachmont plateau. And then part three will be the Flying Bean cafe, bottom of Beachmont Road, where it connects with the Narang-Mawilumbar Road. So that's the bottom of the twisties. So from the Flying Bean to Bob, as we call it, bottom of Beachmont, Bob, B-O-B. And that'll be the third part. So I'm going to put a little map up for each part, and you'll be able to see where I'm riding as on the map as well as on the video. So let's get going. Let's do it. Looks like these guys are getting ready to do a bit of work on the poles. Just going past the Mount Tamborine Cemetery over there. If you haven't already seen a video I did a video there toward the end of last year. Very, very interesting story. Go back and check it out. It was a story of a man that murdered his parents in America, managed to escape from jail, changed his name, emigrated to Australia, lived here, quiet life, very popular in the local community, married, had a couple of kids, died, buried here in that cemetery. And it wasn't until years after his death that his family found out what he had done in the States. Anyway, go and check that video out, very interesting. Alright, this is what a great day to check out the Great Dividing Range. So that mountain range you can see there is the Great Dividing Range, which runs several thousand kilometres from right up the tip of Cape York in Australia right down to the bottom into Victoria. It goes several thousand kilometres. This is a popular lookout. You can see why. Alright, let's get going. It's such a pretty ride along here, along Tamborine Road on top of Mount Tamborine. The altitude, I think we're up about 1,000 feet, 900 feet, maybe up to 1,200 feet. So it's quite a different set of vegetation. It's always cooler up here, which is great in summer. It's always about 5 degrees cooler, a little bit cooler in winter, and you get this thick rainforest straight through there. And because you're on top of the mountain, you get a view over. You can't see it from here, but if you're over a little bit further, there's a parallel road that runs about 2 or 3k that way. You get views of the Gold Coast, and on this road you get views to the west, Great Dividing Range. Now this one coming up here on the right, and I'll just pull in, this is popular with hang gliders. There's a heap of cars coming. I'll just park on this side of the road. So this is popular with hang gliders, paragliders, and they take off, and they even have competition flights up here. You come up here on the weekend, it's a Monday today, you come up here on Saturday, Sunday, it'll be hundreds of people here. Be a lot of spectators, and if the conditions are right, there'll be a lot of people flying. I've also flown my drone here, check that video out. Now this place here, the Polish place, that was a restaurant, and I think it shut down 6 or 12 months ago. They got little holiday cabins there, and you could go in and eat Polish food. You can still go and stay in the cabin, but I think the restaurant shut. So we have Mount Tamborine Showground here on the left, and they have Mount Tamborine markets every Sunday. I've been up here quite a few times to the markets. It's very nice. Market second Sunday of each month. Alright. Normally I would turn right here to go to Canungra. I am going to go to Canungra, like I said, to the Outpost Cafe. But I'll take the long way because it's a little bit prettier. Okay, so we have the Tamborine Motel, St Bernard's Hotel. Well, that is St Bernard's Hotel, and that's where you can enjoy a view of the Gold Coast and a nice cold beer. Right, so we're coming up to the state school. Maybe it's just called St Bernard's State School. There's about 3 state schools up here. I always get confused what they are. Yeah, okay, so we have St Bernard's State School. I better make sure I don't go faster than 40k an hour. Still school time. Lady doing a job, lollipop lady. Now if I was to turn left here, I would go down to the Gold Coast. I can go down Henry Robert Drive, and I've done a video of the Tamborine bus crash which occurred in, when was that? I think it was 1988 or 1989. A bus was going down Henry Robert Drive, brakes failed, 20 odd people were killed, bus rolled over. So we're back on the main highway, the main road, which is, what's it called? I think I've just come off, yeah, the main western road, I think it's called from now on. Alright, we're coming up to the goat track. Anyway, luckily or hopefully this dump truck will let us go past. So if anybody's wondering about, this is one of my old mobile phones. I have my current mobile phone in my pocket. So any comments about if you have a crash and you're thrown away and you can't get to your mobile phone, don't mount it there. I do have my mobile phone in my pocket. This is my old phone. I've got an offline map downloaded. It's called Sygic, S-Y-G-I-C, and it's free. You can pay a once-off, I think it's a once-off subscription. Cost me maybe $20 I think, or something like that, and that gives you some extras. Yeah, so here we go. Alright, let me see. You gonna let me go? He doesn't even know I'm behind him, I don't think. I don't think he even knew I was behind him. He wouldn't have been able to see me. I think he would have no problem with me going past him, knowing how slow he would go. Alright, well this is the goat track. It's about 500 metres, something like that, between, well the whole goat, that's the beginning of the goat track where the lights are. This one-way section controlled by lights is, I think it's 500 metres or maybe 100 metres. Anyway, it's not far. And you'll see very shortly when we get around here. Now, about 2 or 3 years ago, we had a major landslip here in stormy weather. The goat track was shut for 12 months while they reinforced it. So here we are. This is the traffic control section at the bottom, we call it. The sign says you can wait for 5 minutes. And the rest of it's dual carriageway all the way down. What is it? It's another 3.8 kilometres. This has only really got two hairpin corners. I'm not even sure I'd call them hairpin. You've got to be careful with them. I wouldn't take a very inexperienced rider on this unless I was quite sure they could handle it. I wouldn't take them on this road either up or down because of those two corners. I'll show you when we get to them. Right, so this one is not a bad corner, it's quite easy. Coming up it's more difficult. But this corner here catches a lot of people out. You will see, and they just can't take the corner. You've really got to be careful. Yeah, they stray over, and you see there that red car. Someone coming there and they go a little bit too quick on the bike, they stray over, and next thing you know they head first into an upcoming car. And the second major difficult corner is this one here. And this catches a lot of people out too. Going up's probably a little bit more difficult than going down, this section here. And then you have this corner. Yeah, like for any rider that's got a bit of experience, hardly a challenge at all. I guess I'd rate them a 6 out of 10 degree of difficulty. But for a novice rider, a lot tougher. Anyway, so what do we got? We've got 1.2 kilometres down the bottom. This is a one-way coming through here. It's between boulders on the right, boulders on the left. I've seen people get into fights here because who's got right away and all the rest of it. Fights as in just screaming and shouting. I've never seen anybody get off their bike or anything like that, or get out of their car. Alright, so we are what, 200 metres from the intersection, so we're going to turn right, go down to Canungra. So we're going to turn right. Okay, so we'll stop here and make sure that we've got clear. So it looks like it's going to be clear on the left. So down the hill we go. Post straight ahead. And I've got plenty of videos of riding to the outpost, etc, etc. You can watch all those online. Now I'm not going to pull in today because I've already had a coffee up at the Spice of Life in Tamborine. So this is the village of Canungra. Such a pretty little village this, only small. Not sure how many people that live in Canungra, maybe 1,000, 1,500. It's got one pub, it's got a bowling club, several cafes, 2 service stations. So this is a little shopping centre here, a bakery, garage, get your car serviced, petrol station. I'm not going to get petrol, I'm just going to drive through and head back up. I've done a drone flight over the village. You can check that out on my channel, see what it's like from the air. Alright, so there's the outpost. There's several cafes here, but this is my favourite. So this is part 1 finished. So the next video is going to start from here. And according to this, it's 18 kilometres away to the Flying Bean. It's going to take me 20 minutes and we should get there at 9:28.